Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Jaquez, hip, latest Heat player sidelined, Butler, Rozier also out for Game 5, as is Celtics Porzingis. The Miami Heat now will need a next man up for their next man up amid their injury-riddled ride through the opening round of the NBA playoffs. Moved into the starting lineup in the wake of injuries to teammates Terry Rozier and Jimmy Butler, first-round pick Jaquez Jr. on Tuesday was ruled out by the team for Wednesday night's Game 5 against the Boston Celtics in this best-of-7 Eastern Conference opening round series. Sidelined from the fourth quarter of Monday night's 102-88 loss to the Celtics at Casillas Center that put the Heat into a 3-1 hole in the matchup and facing elimination, Jaquez was diagnosed with a right hip flexor strain. A spark throughout the season, last June's number 18 pick out of UCLA was limited to 22-10 in Monday night's loss, closing with 9 points on 4 of 10 shooting, with 2 rebounds and 2 assists. While coach Erik Spoelstra initially classified it as a leg injury, Jaquez clarified before the Heat turned their attention to Wednesday's 7:30 p.m. Game 5 at TD Garden. "I just felt something given the hip, and we'll take it day by day as of now," Jaquez said. "It was really just my hip, my right hip. I felt something given the beginning in the third quarter, going up for a rebound. I tried to get back in there, tried to give it everything I had." Jaquez said it is a new injury. "This is something definitely a little new," he said. "I don't think I've had an injury up here before, hurt up there. But like I said, day by day. With the awareness that the Heat season now stands as nothing other than day by day. This is when guys come together and get tighter as a group," Jaquez said. "And that's what we're going to do." Jaquez appeared in a team-high 75 games during the regular season. He missed 6 games in January with a strained left groin, with the Heat going 1-5. He also missed the March 24 home victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers with discomfort in his left knee. In addition to Butler dealing with a sprained MCL in his right knee and Rozier with what the team is listing as neck spasms, guard Duncan Robinson also has been limited by a back issue listed as left facet syndrome. In addition, guard Josh Richardson has been out since mid-season following season-ending shoulder surgery. Butler, Rozier and Richardson also were ruled out for Game 5, with those 3 in addition to Jaquez remaining behind in South Florida. Robinson is listed as available, as is forward Haywood Highsmith, who now is being listed with plantar fasciitis in his right foot. As for the Celtics, center Kristaps Porzingis is out with what Boston is listing as a right soleus strain, a calf injury typically measured in weeks. As for the Heat, to forward Caleb Martin, it simply is a matter of further rallying around what is available. "Nobody wants to be in this type of position," Martin said. "But we got a lot of guys who have been fighting to even get to this point in their careers or whatever. So this isn't the worst we've seen when it comes to this basketball stuff. At the end of the day, we're getting to play one of the best teams in the East and we're in the postseason while a lot of guys aren't playing right now. So we don't have a lot to complain about. We just need to go out and have fun and play, compete." Spoelstra in Monday night's loss moved veteran guard Patty Mills into his rotation, with Mills and fellow veteran guard DeLon Wright now expected to have bigger roles in the absence of Jaquez, perhaps with one of the two starting. Despite the Heat being shorthanded, two-way players Cole Swider, Jamal Cain and Alonzo Williams are ineligible for the playoffs because of the limitations of their contracts. Heat rule rookie forward Jaquez Jr. out of Game 5 versus Celtics with hip injury. The Miami Heat will be without yet another starter when they face an elimination game in Boston on Wednesday night. Rookie forward Jaquez Jr. did not travel with the team on Tuesday to Boston for a Game 5 against the Celtics, ruled out with a strained right hip flexor. Jaquez Jr. joins Jimmy Butler, knee, and Terry Rozier, neck, on the list of Miami starters sidelined by injuries. The Heat have also been without guard Josh Richardson for months following shoulder surgery. Jaquez Jr. left Game 4 against the Celtics, a 102-88 loss on Monday night after suffering the injury in the second half. He had 9 points in 22 minutes before departing, and tests on Tuesday showed the severity of the issue. "Felt something give in the hip," Jaquez said after Game 4. He said it happened early in the third quarter while jumping for a rebound and that he tried to play through the injury to no avail. Jaquez, a likely all-rookie team selection this season out of UCLA, has started all 4 games in the series, averaging 12.8 points. Only Bam Adebayo, Tyler Herro, and Caleb Martin have played more minutes for Miami in the matchup against the Celtics than Jaquez has. The Heat haven't been at full strength at any point in the series, one where Boston holds a 3-1 lead and can clinch a spot in the second round with a win on Wednesday. Butler and Rozier have not played in the series, and Heat guard Duncan Robinson, the team's all-time leader in three-pointers, is dealing with a back problem and has been limited to an average of about 10 minutes per game. Celtics star Derrick White's hilarious revelation on 38-point explosion versus Heat. On Monday evening, Derrick White and the Boston Celtics took a commanding 3-1 lead in their first-round Eastern Conference playoff series versus the Miami Heat with a resounding 102-88 win in a game that really wasn't that close, as Miami used a late mini-surge to make the final score a bit more respectable. White was absolutely electric in this one, scoring 38 points in a game in which the Celtics didn't get a whole lot from their star duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but frankly didn't need to. After the game, White had a hilarious revelation about how some of the shots we was taking once he got hot wouldn't necessarily be categorized as high-quality attempts, but that it didn't matter because he was in the zone. "Obviously you make a couple, you kind of feel like you've got the ultimate green light, so you can take some dumb ones, which I did," said White, per Celtics on CLNS on X, the social media platform formerly referred to as Twitter. "You just try to not do that. Just continue to play within the flow of the offense and you try to hunt a little bit more, but I was just still trying to play within the flow of the offense." The Celtics got an injury scare when big man Kristaps Porzingis had to leave the game early due to what the team categorized as calf tightness. It remains to be seen what the extent of the injury is or if it will force the big man to miss any more time. The Celtics' defense, with the notable exception of the Game 2 three-point onslaught they surrendered, has been stellar against the Heat, although it should be noted that Miami is operating without the services of arguably their best 2 playmakers in Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier. Boston's offense, however, hasn't been as hot, as the Celtics are averaging just over 102 points per game in the last 3 games of this series, which isn't necessarily a great sign for a team with championship aspirations. Of course, with a team as offensively challenged as this heavily injured version of the Heat, it hasn't been an issue, and it likely probably won't be regardless of whether the Celtics play the Orlando Magic or the Cleveland Cavaliers in Round 2, assuming they get there. That series is currently knotted at 2-2 with Game 5 looming on Tuesday night back in Cleveland. Still, a few brief stretches aside, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum haven't exactly been lighting the world on fire so far in this postseason, and Jrue Holiday has been overall a disappointment on that end of the floor, despite his continued excellence on defense. With the Eastern Conference playoff field all having major weaknesses, there's a chance that the Celtics won't need to put on elite offensive performances until the NBA Finals. However, if they want to hoist their first trophy in 16 years, they'll need to figure out how to put the ball in the basket more often over the next month or so. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Derrick White's? Leave your opinion in the comments.